So it's going
off the
St. Louis Rams and Seattle Seahawks. St. Louis leading 21-13. It was the running backs that were really instrumental in creating issues for Seattle's defense.
second down and 4. Off the fake, Davis rolling right. And this is Corey Harkey, who picks up a Rams first down out to the 36.
And we talk about the Legion of Boom, and we talk about how big everybody is. The smallest guy in the Legion of Boom is the guy who just leveled the boom on Corey Harkey. Earl Thomas is a physical safety with tremendous range on the back end.
So Harkey picks up the first. His father Mike, named pitching coach by the Arizona Diamondbacks a couple of days ago. Former Major League pitcher, 1st and 10 from the 36. Davis over the middle again. It's Jared Cook. Well, new this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Cam Chancellor shaken up.
Yeah, Cam Chancellor, you know, a question mark going into the Dallas game, carrying some injuries through the course of the season. Slow getting up after that play.
So Chancellor will head to the sidelines.
That was, you know, Earl Thomas, you know, he spoke tremendous respect for Cam Chancellor, as big and as physical as he is, you know, down in the box, but not just his style of play, his physical style of play, but also coordinating everything in that front and making sure that the front end and the back end are on the same page, and the communication that's so important between Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor to get this defense set.
Chancellor replaced by number 23, Jerron Johnson. 1st and 10 from the 46, the end around to Austin. And it goes nowhere. Tavon Austin loses a yard.
Malcolm Smith does his job there. I mean, his job is contained in what's coming from the wide side of the field. He doesn't get caught down inside. He's able to soft play that and get outside. And again, here's Richard Sherman. You know, we hear about him and, you know, his ability to shut down the wide receiver to his side of the field. But again, there's another example of how physical he is in the run game.
2nd down and 11. Trey Mason in the backfield with the fullback Harkey. This is Mason. And he's down back at the 44. Jerron Johnson in for Chancellor, comes out to make the tackle, loss of 2, and now some extracurricular activity as Cam Chancellor returns to the field for the Seahawks. So Chancellor sat out a couple of plays back in the game. 3rd down and 12 for St. Louis. Rams with 2 huge special teams plays today. A 75-yard kick return by Benny Cunningham, leading to a touchdown, and then a 90-yard punt return for a score by Stedman Bailey. Davis on 3rd down and 12. It's Cunningham. And Benny Cunningham looks to be just short. He's about a yard shy as Earl Thomas made the tackle. Cunningham broke away from KJ Wright, but then is stopped at the 45.
Earl Thomas again, Darryl.
Yeah, right now, Jeff Fisher is trotting out Lance Kendricks and Corey Harkey, so he may think about going for it here on 4th down.
And it looks like that is the plan. 4th and 1 for the Rams from the Seahawks 45. Play clock is down to 2. Rams take the delay of game and will now send out the punting unit.
Jeff Fisher upset with the official to his side at the end of that. And he committed to it early. He had his personnel trotting out onto the field to go for it on 4th down. went for the long field goal at the end of the first half, and Greg Zuerlein pushed it to the right, and Seattle was able to take that down the field for points. So, situation right there. If you get stuff there, momentum goes directly back to the Seattle Seahawks again.
Third quarter comes to an end. Back in St. Louis with producer Barry Landis, director Brian Lilly, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. We start the fourth quarter. Rams with a couple of huge returns. One for a touchdown, and the other set up a touchdown. Hecker punting from his 40. And a fair catch at the 8-yard line made by Walters. Here comes the Seahawks offense, down by 8.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Welcome back, early fourth quarter. Austin Davis, nearly perfect, 13 of 14 for only 77 yards. Wilson over 200 with a rushing touchdown. Worst starting field position of the day for the Seahawks. This is Turbin, who takes it out to the 15-yard line. Gain of 7.
A nice adjustment by Robert Turbin on that play, designed to go to the right. Everything got bottled up there, able to jump out to the left side, get some positive yards.
Seahawks went 82 yards, their longest drive of the season, on their last possession. Trail by 8, second down and 3. Lynch and Turbin in the backfield. Wilson rolling right on second and 3, directing traffic, and now takes off, picks up a first down. He slides out to the 22-yard line.
Well, this defensive line did a great job in the first half of going and containing Russell Wilson, but they're taking inside routes, letting him get out on the perimeter. This is where he's the most effective, when he's outside of the box. And you can see it right here. He's making first downs. He's completing passes on the outside. This is not what they want to have.
His rush for 38 yards in the second half, only 1 carry, 5 in the first. From the 22. 1-yard pickup for Lynch. TJ McDonald, who played for Pete Carroll at USC, made the tackle. Seattle Seahawks suffering a rare home loss last Sunday to the Dallas Cowboys, 30-23. Not lost back-to-back games since weeks 7 and 8 back in 2012. They trail this one by 8. Split backs. Second down and 9. As Wilson hands it off to Lynch. And he's bottled up. No gain on the play, as McDonald comes up from a strong safety position to make the tackle.
That's a nice job getting Marshawn Lynch to the ground. TJ McDonald, the safety, finding his way through there. A lot to ask of Robert Turbin today because of the injuries. Derek Coleman, the fullback, Luke Wilson, the tight end. You've got one of your running backs that's become a lead back. That is a real hard adjustment for somebody who's used to carrying the ball to all of a sudden now be asked to be not just kind of a guy who grabs people's attention, but an actual lead blocker for Marshawn Lynch.
And for Lynch today, 10 carries of 2 or fewer yards. Third down and 9. Wilson moving to his left. Can't find anyone. He takes off, picks up a first down and more. Russell Wilson inside the 30. Finally tackled by Janoris Jenkins at the Rams' 25-yard line as Wilson runs for 52.
One more time, soft edge on this defense.
Keep an eye on Alec Ogletree. He's going to disappear from screen, but he's going to come right back in. I want you to see, he's right there. Why is he moving to the inside with Russell Wilson beyond the line of scrimmage? He gives him the sideline. That's his second drop in outside contain Last drive for a touchdown, this one for a huge run.
52 yards, longest of Wilson's career. His previous long run was 29. Play clock at 2, and the Seahawks use a timeout.
Tell you what, this play clock has been moving pretty fast, guys. Both teams have struggled with it.
So Russell Wilson, who rushed for only 5 yards on 1 carry in the first half, now at 95 yards. Remember, he set a franchise record 2 weeks ago in Washington when he ran for 122.
You know, the big thing right now we're seeing, and Tony pointed this out, is these plays designed to get Russell Wilson out on the edge with decisions to make. But there's still a defender on the field whose responsibility in Greg Williams' scheme is to have contain, who's assigned to not allow him. If he's on the edge, you should have somebody whose specific responsibility is to make sure if he pulls that ball down, I'm responsible for tackling him. Alec Ogletree obviously on the touchdown, but on that one, when he was on the outside, I have no idea why he started to slide to the inside. They did such a nice job in the first half of containing Russell Wilson in the pocket with that cage rush, but here in the second half, they have allowed him to break contain on numerous occasions.
And that 52-yard run came in another 3rd and long, a 3rd down and 9. From the Rams 25, Marshawn Lynch spins down to the 21-yard line to pick up a 4.
This is the other option you have to defend. You've got Russell Wilson on the edge. You've got Marshawn Lynch pounding it between the tackles.
Darrell Bevel, offensive coordinator. Lynch and Turbin in the backfield. Curse in motion. 2nd down and 6 from the 21 as Wilson just able to get rid of it. Turbin makes the catch, and Turbin is dragged down by Ogletree at the 15-yard line. Picks up a 1st.
Russell Wilson very slow getting up, Kenny.
He got hit hard.
Janoris Jenkins times it up perfect. We'll see if it's him who has the hit on it. No, it's actually E.J. Gaines, and then he gets a knee from Janoris Jenkins as he comes through.
Looked like a knee to the helmet.
Remember early in the game in the first quarter, they were working on his shoulder. You see the sacks, the hits, the hurries. It's been a tough day in the pocket for Russell Wilson at times.
It usually is for Wilson against this Rams team. 1st and 10 from the 15. Wilson hands it off to Lynch. He's inside the 10, the 5, touchdown, but there is a flag.
I mean, the offense telegraphed exactly what they were doing, and the defense did not respond on that play.
Holy. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
The hold committed by Alvin Bailey, who was in once again as an extra blocker.
So coming in, trying to account for all the changes in the lineup here. You get that heavy set to the outside. Drives the first guy off the ball, climbs to the 2nd level.
You know, when you're out leveraged like that, there's got to be a linebacker or a strong safety, or somebody's got to go and take force, and that's to contain on the outside. That's not happening here today.
I didn't see his arms outside the blocking area. It looked like a good block to me.
Now on 1st and 14, Wilson throws to the end zone. It's a touchdown. Cooper Helfet makes the catch, stayed in bounds, and the Seahawks capitalize. They pull to within 2.
Russell Wilson getting everybody back together, going to go for 2 points here. What a tremendous job with his feet. Cooper Helfet, I mean, his right foot is right on that line. That is outstanding work.
Tremendous concentration on that play.
Remember, all scoring plays are reviewed. Ruled a touchdown, 1st of Helfet's NFL career. Seahawks without their top 2 tight ends today due to injuries, Zach Miller and Luke Wilson. Helfet came down with the football, looked to get
Remember the 3-step process: possession first, feet in bounds, and then complete the process of the catch to the ground. So possession, secures possession. There is a tremendous work with the feet, and then secures it all the way to the ground.
He's had his plate full today with blocking and catching. Done it all. 2nd and 10 from the 15. Wilson. 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 Wilson
last play under review.
Receiver had 2 feet inbounds with possession of the ball. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Here's your best shot here. The big piece that was trying to get clarity on were the feet. You can obviously see the possession because the ball's up, but it was the feet with that blue end zone and the black shoes. There's your best shot to confirm that touchdown.
And now the Seahawks, down by 2, will go for 2. For the first time this season, Seahawks have not converted in the last 54 games.
If you have Russell Wilson as an assignment on this play, I suggest you stay with him.
Absolutely.
Here's Wilson to the end zone, incomplete, intended for Curse. So the Seahawks unable to convert. And they trail the Rams by 2. Fourth quarter in St. Louis.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online.
Seattle Seahawks trailed at the half, 21-6. 2 second-half touchdowns. Wilson, a 52-yard run. Franchise record, breaking the record held by Jim Zorn, 41-yard run back in '79. And that helped set up the touchdown. Wilson hitting Cooper Helfet. Seahawks could not convert on the 2-point conversion and trail by 2. Cunningham takes a knee. Rams will start at the 20.
Well, it's time to take the reins off of Austin Davis right now. I think that you're a little bit leery of his decision making and his performance against the 49ers. Some throws, some decisions that maybe you weren't happy with. You see 13 of 14 right there, but 77 yards. I know they want to attack the underneath zones, but at some point you got to make a play. And right now, this drive is so important for the St. Louis Rams right now, because you can't even flip field position, because the Seattle Seahawks have just gone 82 yards for a touchdown and 91 yards for a touchdown. So your defense has been out there. Seattle's offense has been more effective, and this offense has to get points right here.
Longest completion for Davis today, just 14 yards. Off the play fake on first down. Brian Quick out to the 38, so that becomes the longest completion for the Rams today, 19 yards.
Yeah, and that's the area that they want to attack. They talked about the spot drops in the zone coverage by Seattle to the hash and to the numbers. Well, that ball is thrown right in between to Brian Quick, and you can see Marcus Burley converging from the numbers, and you can see Malcolm Smith coming in from the hash.
Davis now 14 of 15 in the game. We approach 9 minutes remaining. Rams lead by 2. From the 39 on first down, Davis under pressure, moves to his left, now throws, and the catch is made for another first down in Seattle territory. First reception today for the tight end, Lance Kendricks.
Nice job by Austin Davis of moving to the outside, keeping his eyes downfield to find the receiver. I don't think he was going to run it there, Darryl, but he looked good with the movement in the backfield.
Wow, a little dangerous though, Tony. Moving to his left, right-handed quarterback throwing back into the middle of the field. Kind of similar to the one that he had intercepted at the end of San Francisco. Moving to his right.
14-yard pickup. Kayvon Austin now in the backfield. He takes the handoff. Austin down to the 44 for a gain of 4. Time for a game break to Los Angeles. Kurt.
Well, after Kirk Cousins had 2 first-half turnovers, Washington turned to Colt McCoy to start the second half. His first pass, a 70-yard score to Pierre Garçon. Washington on top of Tennessee early in the fourth quarter, 16-10. Kenny Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Redskins just 1-5, making the move to Colt McCoy here in St. Louis. 2-point lead for the Rams over the defending Super Bowl champs. Second down and 6. Davis moving to his right after the pressure from Bennett. Now he throws, and it's Kendricks who was unable to make the catch inbounds.
Well, credit the Seattle secondary right there, because Austin Davis does a tremendous job buying a ton of time. And this Seahawks secondary just plastered their coverage. There was really nowhere for Austin Davis to go. This is excellent.
Only the second incompletion thrown by Davis. So the Rams now facing 3rd down and 6. Rams must get to the 38 for a 1st down. And it's Chris Gibbons who makes the catch. 30-yard completion. Gibbons, who was deactivated the last 2 weeks, and that is not good news. Greg Robinson, the rookie left guard, is down.
Gibbons coming from the inside, pushing up and then breaking away.
My apologies, it's Roger Saffold. Rams medical staff working on the right guard. Roger Saffold injured on the last play. He's replaced by the 2-time Pro Bowler Davin Joseph.
Now working inside, Michael Bennett gets underneath him, and I think he actually hurt that before he even goes to the ground, trying to regain his leverage and footing.
Huge catch by Gibbons, longest play of the day for the Rams on offense, 30 yards, and now is Mason. Trey Mason takes it all the way down to the Seattle 3-yard line, picks up a 1st down.
You get on these outside plays, and if you don't force the running back to deviate from his path, you're in trouble. And you see just that little bubble right there. Good kick out by Corey Harkey, and there's no pursuit from the inside until he's well down the field.
First and goal for the Rams from the Seattle 3.
Now, we talked about the importance of this drive at the start, and St. Louis has done a nice job.
Now, Pete Carroll not happy. Rams had 12 men in the huddle, and now, following the confusion, they are forced to call a timeout. Pete wondering why no flag. So with 6:23 remaining in the 4th, the Rams with a 2-point lead, 1st and goal from the Seattle 3. The big play, the 30-yard completion. And you talked at the beginning of this drive, Darryl, about Davis opening things up. He hit quick for 19, then a 14-yard completion, followed by a 30-yarder to Gibbons. So prior to this drive, 14 yards was his longest completion today. 3 completions of at least 14 on this possession.
Yeah, and it's just balancing that. It's a learning curve for Austin Davis right now, and making good decisions and checking it down. But when it's there, you got to take a shot, and he's really done well with his decisions on this drive.
1st and goal. The handoff to Mason. He slips. No gain on the play, so it will be 2nd and goal as the clock winds down towards 6 minutes.
Good job by the Seattle front right there. We talked about forcing the running back to change his path, and Brandon Mebane getting penetration on that left side forces Trey Mason to cut back. He didn't allow him to get to the outside or stay on that original path.
Mason in the backfield. 2 tight ends set. 2nd and goal. Davis throws, and the catch is made. Ball comes loose. The question is, did Kendricks break the plane and throw the touchdown? So he broke the plane, which means touchdown. Ball came loose a second later. Rams have extended their lead.
Remember, all it has to do is the nose breaks the front of that plane. There it is right there. Touchdown.
It is different in the end zone than the rest of the field as far as completing the catch. With regard to a touchdown, once across the plane, that's it.
You don't have to be touchdown in the field. If he was out in the open field and did that same play, that would be ruled a fumble.
Right. And of course, all scoring plays are reviewed. Brad Allen has received word that it was a good call of touchdown. The extra point, Zerline. So Davis hitting Kendricks. Rams extend to a 9-point lead. Back in St. Louis, Rams have extended to a 9-point lead. Lance Kendricks with the touchdown. 5:36 remaining. Defending champs in danger of losing their second straight. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Offense down by 9. .36 remaining here in St. Louis. Rams with a 9-point lead. Seahawks with back-to-back drives of 82 and 91 yards, both resulting in touchdowns. But they need 2 scores. Wilson under pressure, chased by Hayes. He throws, and the catch is made by Lynch for a first down, gain of 12.
And that's the big thing, Kenny. You know, when they went for the 2-point conversion on that last drive and you fail, you make it a 2-possession game if the team goes down and scores, and that's exactly what happened. It was a little bit early, in my opinion, to start chasing it. Now you've got to score twice, so now you're forced to be up-tempo.
Seahawks were down by 2, went for 2 earlier this quarter, could not convert. Wilson on first down, he throws, and the catch is made in Rams territory by Doug Baldwin. 21-yard completion.
Oh, there's just back-to-back examples of how difficult Russell Wilson is. The first one on the move to Marshawn Lynch on the sideline. That one just steady in the pocket, deep down the middle of the field to Doug Baldwin.
Under 5 minutes remaining from the St. Louis 46. Wilson on first down, takes off. He's over 100 yards for the day, takes a hard hit at the end of the play from McLeod. Down at the 38.
Yeah, that's a late slide. He did not commit to his slide soon enough. I like the no call by the officials in that situation.
From the Rams 39. Wilson to the outside. It's Paul Richardson who picks up a Seattle first down.
Boy, have they been efficient offensively on their last few drives here. You mentioned before, Kenny, the 2 longest drives of the season for Seattle coming into this possession and just right down the field again here.
Well, Greg Williams' defense, they're giving him a lot of room from the line of scrimmage, bringing no pressure. If you see the linebackers are 5-7 yards deep. But Russell Wilson knows he's going to have plenty of time. Now only 4 guys are going to be rushing up front.
From the St. Louis 32, the handoff to Lynch. There is a flag as Lynch gains 5 to the 27.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Left guard James Carpenter.
That's our 9th penalty today. 77 right there on the right side of your screen.
Seahawks among the most penalized teams. Once again, they led the league in penalties last year and went on to win the Super Bowl. First down and 20 from the St. Louis 42. Empty backfield. Wilson moving to his right, directing traffic, and takes another hit at the end of the play. This time it's LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah, and this was played very well by LaMarcus Joyner because he's in a tough spot. Number 20 right here. He's got to stay in coverage to watch this play develop, and then he's got to drop and come up and make the hit on Russell Wilson.
Wilson now with 106 yards on the ground, including a 52-yard run, franchise record for a quarterback. Ran for 122 against Washington 2 weeks ago.
There he goes, bringing a little pressure, it looks like.
And the slant is caught by Kearse. Jermaine Kearse inside the 10. Down to the 9-yard line. A 29-yard pass play.
Coming out of the slot at the top. There goes their blitz, Tony. Right into the open lane. You've got to drop coverage down. It's the one risky run. I think in that situation, not only the fact you're going to be in man-to-man coverage, but you've got a quarterback who's rushed for over 100 yards, and you've got your back turned in.
And now he's thrown for over 300. First and goal from the 9. Wilson looking. Still looking. Can't find anyone, and then throws it away.
This is a nice job by the Rams secondary. Russell Wilson is able to hold this ball for a long time. It's a good job plastering their coverage, moving through. His guys are running into the zones. Russell Wilson has nowhere to go with it, has to throw it away.
Second and goal from the Rams 9. 3:22 remaining. Seahawks trail by 9. Wilson throws. Baldwin, touchdown.
Russell Wilson is just taking total control of this game.
Doug Baldwin right here. Cooper Helfrich goes down the field. Marshawn Lynch into the flat. Russell Wilson finds the guy in between. And we talked at the top with the trade to Percy Harvin. The emphasis shifted to Doug Baldwin, Jermaine Kearse, the veteran guys, also the young guys, Kevin Norwood, Paul Richardson. They've done a good job this afternoon.
The extra point. The Rams lead cut to 2. The Seahawks with touchdowns on each of their last 3 possessions. 2 days after the trade of Percy Harvin to the New York Jets. Began his career in Minnesota, 4 seasons with the Vikings. Then it was on to Seattle. Played in only 1 game during the regular season last year, but had the huge kick return to start the second half of the Super Bowl. His numbers this year, and then the trade on Friday.
And, you know, the big thing to me is you bring Percy Harvin in here to be that explosive element, and it doesn't happen. You can see right here what his production has been. As you mentioned last year, Kenny, when this was a dominant Seattle team, not just a defense, but an entire team, he played 1 game. Now, we remember that big kickoff return in the Super Bowl, and that really kind of cemented the victory for the Seattle Seahawks. But there was expectations for him, and when you bring somebody in with that playmaking ability and create packages, and all of a sudden he says, you know what, I'm not going out there. I'm not going to play today. I'm not going back out on this drive. You have to make the decision. So the result of today's game, the struggles offensively, that's the key to your offense right there. Number 3, Russell Wilson. And as Tony said, he has just taken this game over here in the second half, and his wide receiver group has stepped up. If you look around the NFL by catches, and you know, it is a young group. There's not a lot of experience there, but you know, I think Doug Baldwin is a good leader. I think he's going to challenge this group. He's a fiery competitor. He's going to make sure that they do their job, and he's been a big help today too. He's had a nice afternoon as a go-to guy for Russell Wilson.
Hauska kicks it deep. It went over the head of Austin. So the Rams pinned deep. After the Seahawks score touchdowns on their last 3 possessions, they drive 82, 91, and 80 yards. Now it's up to their defense to get the ball back.
We've challenged this team, and we've talked about finishing. Jeff Fisher emphasized that point at practice all week.
At halftime.
At halftime, and now they've got their opportunity. It was a great drive last time out. And the big thing here is you've got to play to close this out. You can't let Russell Wilson get back on the field. He's been too efficient this second half for the Seattle Seahawks.
Austin Davis told us Friday we have to finish games, play 60 minutes. From the 11-yard line. Smothered. Back at the 9, Benny Cunningham.
And that is the concern here. You cannot be ultra conservative in this situation.
Seahawks use a timeout. their second. Week 7 continues later today on Fox, and for some of you on CBS, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. St. Louis Rams, who had leads of 21-0 over Dallas, 14-0 over San Francisco over the course of their last 3 games. Took a 14-3 lead today, led 21-6 at the half. But the Seahawks, showing great resiliency, have come back. They've scored touchdowns on their last 3 drives. And now with 3:09 remaining, 2nd and 12 for the Rams. Seattle with 1 timeout remaining. Off the fake, Davis rolling right. Can't find anyone. He spins it out. Shovel pass is caught and taken up to the 18-yard line.
Woo, was that dangerous?
You know what, dangerous, Tony, but this is a heck of a play in my opinion. Great move right there. It's clean, it's safe, right? You know, you don't want to do that shovel pass. You got people in between. Good vision to where Jared Cook is at. If he doesn't do that, now you're in 3rd and long. And you are in big trouble. So, hey, yeah, a little bit risky, a little bit dangerous, but I think Austin Davis, clear vision to Jared Cook. Go ahead, make that little flick out there. Give yourself an opportunity to convert here on 3rd down, because it was defended well by the Seattle defense.
And now the Seahawks use their final timeout with 2:59 remaining. Special teams, big story for the Rams today. 90-yard punt return on a great play set up by Jeff Fisher and his special teams coach, John Fossil. Earlier, Cunningham with a 75-yard kickoff return, which set up the first Rams touchdown. And the Seahawks battling back from a 21-3 deficit following the Bailey touchdown. 3rd down and 3. 2:59 remaining. Seahawks out of timeouts. Davis throws. Sherman on the coverage, no flags. Austin, the intended receiver. So Richard Sherman makes a big play, and now the Rams will punt it away.
And how big was that play to the Seattle Seahawks? Richard Sherman on the right side, so he's going to go lock down Tavon Austin in that situation. Very physical with his coverage. We saw him switch at the end of the Dallas game to go take Des Bryant, moving out of his left corner position, and there with the game on the line, moves over to man up on Tavon Austin.
And how big is field position on the last Seattle kickoff? Oh, no, fake! Hecker with the throw, it's a 1st down! We've seen the Rams do this so many times previously. Hecker, the punter, is now 4 for 4 in his career as the Rams do it again on special teams.
This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I tell you what, Jeff Fisher, John Fossil, what a game. Come in, distract right here, but then look at that, you flood the zone. There's nobody out there. That is tremendous. Okay, we've seen the preparation to create an opportunity with the Stedman Bailey punt return. Now this one is just plain guts. We've got it up, but you've got to have the courage to call it, because if you don't execute that one, you just lost the game. You probably lost the game.
Now the handoff to Mason. So give a game ball to the special teams coach, John Fossil.
Just too short a field position, Darryl. You got Russell Wilson out there. That offense is firing on all cylinders, and you can't give him a short field or you're going to go home with an L.
We talked to Jeff Fisher this week. I'm going to share this with you when they come back, because it's too long, but it's too good of a story.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Well, we like the call, but so did head linesman Jim Mello. He's going to come over and shake Coach Fisher's hand. Hey, nice call, Coach. Well done.
Now the Seahawks, if they stop the Rams on the next 2 downs, can get the ball back with under 30 seconds left, but it's Mason who is close to a 1st down. Seattle out of timeouts. So if the Rams convert on this next play, the game is over.
So we sat down on Friday and we were sharing regrets during our careers as players and coaches, and I told Coach Fisher that in our Super Bowl against Pittsburgh, similar to what they had with the punt here today, that if it was late in the first half, they would squib it down, and we had a reverse set, and I was a step late getting to my guy, and I caused the opportunity for probably a game-changing play in that. And he told me, he goes, we had a fake punt set up. We had to call it deep in our end. We're at the 6-yard line, and I didn't call it. And it had it set. I watched the film, and it would have worked. And he's not going to have any regrets this afternoon, because in a similar situation, he calls that punt and pretty much ices his game.
Now Fisher uses a timeout here, so that changes everything as far as when Seattle will get the ball back if they stop St. Louis.
Well, it's just been a day on special teams, and I want you to watch the numbers at the top of the screen. There goes Stedman Bailey drifting that way. Tavon Austin drives everybody's attention to the bottom, even our cameraman, and hey, where's the ball? There it goes. 90 yards for the touchdown. They saw this on film. It was very consistent from John Ryan, the punter from Seattle, and then this one right here with Seattle's offense really controlling the flow of the game here in the second half. The fear that if we kick it to them, they're coming right down the field to put themselves in field goal range to win this game. And John Fossil and Jeff Fisher make the call for the fake, backed up in their end. And again, let's go to execution. The design, the courage to call the play, and then the players going out and executing, because those are two very, very difficult plays to execute in those situations.
A lot of guts to call them.
Last timeout doesn't cost the Rams much because they ran the play clock all the way down to 1 second, and now the ball comes loose at the end of the play, but Corey Harkey initially fell on it, then it bounced away. Seahawks say they have it. The Rams picked up a first down, would have been able to ice the game, but then the ball came loose. So if the Seahawks have recovered, they will get the ball back with 1:01 on the clock.
Wow. We'll see who comes out with this football. Corey Harkey, some tremendous hustle with the first shot. The officials come out with it.
Rams are ruled to maintain possession. Let's see if the knee was down. Here's Mason. Ball came loose, and
but
then
the ball's
Harkey
fumbled forward, so with the recovery by the team that fumbled the ball will come back to the spot of the fumble. Corey Harkey with the shot right there. Does he get back on top of it? Is he able? No, it's out again. Does Corey Harkey find the way back to the football?
So it is ruled a Rams recovery, and now they will be able to run out the clock. Seahawks out of timeouts. Now Pete Carroll running down the field. He's run out onto the field. Rams come out to celebrate. Carroll wants an explanation.
He wants to know why it didn't go to review inside of 2 minutes.
We'll bring in Mike Pereira from Los Angeles. Mike, what did you see on that crazy play?
Well, here's what Pete Carroll is upset about, that they didn't review that, because new category in replay, recovery of a fumble in the field of play. It used to not be reviewable, but you remember the play with San Francisco, where actually a play in Seattle, they had that play where the fumble, it was recovered by Navarro Bowman, but you couldn't review it. Now you can. Now here's the play. Do you have definitive proof, since they gave the ball to St. Louis, that Seattle recovered? Certainly some question, but the replay official decided not to buzz down. I would have on this critical play.
Right, Mike,
and
referring
this is
to
the shot you take a look at here. Take a look at this shot now. Does Seattle actually get the ball at one point? Can you consider it a clear recovery? And here's where you're going to see it here. Possibility? Certainly a possibility, although knowing the way they judge clear recovery, I do not think they would have changed it, but I do think they should have reviewed it.
Thanks, Mike. Mike referring to the play in the NFC Championship game. They changed the rule as far as replay during the offseason, so the Rams hang on, defeat the Seahawks 28-26, second straight loss for Seattle. Crazy ending here in St. Louis as we head to Los Angeles. Kurt, take it away.